Dr. Metz, first of all, thank you. I applaud you for your demonstration of really, I guess, true talent for the field that you're in. It's encouraging to see our professors respond to, each individual student, especially using the option of video. I decided to reply by video also. An exercise of what's it? Used to genuine attitude of our profession, which you had discussed with a peer on one of your posts. As far as the field itself, I got a lot of respect for education, a lot of respect for the field, and I'm a little still hesitant on what I actually want to do in the field of psychology, or I know I want to advance my education. Uh, right now, I'm contemplating whether or not to take a short break away from education and then get back on board and seek my doctorate. But one of my questions would be is, I see there, well, actually, one of our peers, she has a couple of masters in, various disciplines. I'm not certain which ones, but I have a friend who's in the medical field, and I was going to discuss with her, but you can possibly help with that also, is whether or not there may be any reason for me to get a master's in another area other than psychology before um, pursuing a doctorate. I love dealing with people. I haven't loved dealing with people all my life, but after, asked for the education, with a degree in political science slash government, that raises my concern about where you and I had this brief discussion about the finances behind our involvement, and I realized that insurance, just like big pharma, insurance has a major influence over how we conduct business in various aspects of life. Um, I frown on it, but I also accept that that's a way of being. Um, I'm concerned about our social economic statuses that may hinder some treatment. I guess I have a soft spot for those who probably can't afford certain services but need those services. And politically, when you see how people mentally struggle in this world with various factors, it's sad to see that we can spend a lot of money in other areas, politically, it's on the ballot, whatever, entertainment, building buildings, but it's a couple of things we don't really address, homelessness, which can affect, some of our patients who are schizophrenic, and then areas other of mental health. I'm not as certain if it's just that enough of the voting population aren't behind pushing the mental health part of it, but I'm looking for this to grow, and that's one of the reasons why I would love to be a school psychologist, because I feel that there should be a team of school psychologists at every school. um, there are counselors at schools, but I believe the ratio in some are areas that are not so well to do may struggle. Like, for example, my son, when he graduated high school, he had a nice high school, but his counselors, I believe, were more focused on the 12th graders, scholastic focus, and they were, I believe, assigned to probably 150 students each, maybe even more. So, it wasn't like an environment where the students were felt that they had to go see the counselor. When I was in high school, I had never seen my counselor. I didn't even know what the high school counselor was, so that was sad to me. So that's why I pushed my son to encourage him to go see the counselor. But if we can have school psychologists on campus, like I said, a team of them, the profession may grow. Maybe some of the things that we say aren't, insured, or they don't, put the money involved with it, it can be, better for the profession. I don't know the numbers right now. I would have to do some research, but recommend probably, maybe one school psychologist for every 50 students, or 65 students. I'm not certain, but And one of my questions I listed, and I apologize for failing to list those 7 questions. Um, I'm kind of confused when I have questions. I have a lot of questions, but sometimes the questions that I have, someone already posted, and I just received data from those responses to those postings. But the questions that I may have, dealing with being a school psychologist, um, would be, well, I want to deal with students from a certain age where I feel like where you can influence them just to do better in life, education wise, in their household environment wise, and dealing with their peers. And I want to start probably with 6-year old, if that's not too young, or if even younger, maybe 4-year old. I'm not certain of how much a 4-year old would retain from me, but and then I would like to extend this on up to the young adult ages, where I understand a lot of kids, they advance their education and but still aren't ready for society. But sometimes I get long-winded too. I apologize for that. But I'm gonna cut it short, and I just want to wrap up saying I really look forward to your class. From the moment I saw your introduction on the first page for posting your introduction, I said, okay, well, this is the type of professor that we probably need. Again, I appreciate your efforts.